These are the plaintiffs, Adam Ortiz and his fiancée, Alicia Eagle. Adam says he rented an apartment from the defendant, and they moved their stuff in, even though there was a problem with the electricity. The defendant promised them he would take care of the problem, so they stayed on a friend's couch for a week while he fixed it. A month later, the problem still wasn't fixed, and when they went back to retrieve their stuff, it was gone. The cops said there were no signs of forced entry. This was an inside job, and the defendant is responsible. They're suing this creep for every penny of the $4,887.96 he stole from them. This is the defendant, Michael Gambale. He says he admits it took longer than expected for the electric company to correct the problem, but it was out of his control. The plaintiffs became irate, then started saying they were robbed. He doesn't know anything about stolen items. He thinks they're making the whole thing up, and he doesn't owe them a penny. He's accused of being out of juice.
All parties, please use your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff rented an apartment from the defendant. There were problems with the electricity. They left, and when they came back a month later, their stuff was gone. But the defendant says the plaintiffs trumped up the claim. It's the case of go fly a kite.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Adam Ortiz?
Yes, ma'am.
And Alicia Eagle?
Yes.
Okay, you're suing Michael Gambale, your, I guess, former landlord, for $4,887.96 for items that were stolen from your apartment and the rent and security that you want returned to you because there was never any electricity. What happened?
Yes. Well, just to give you the summary of what's going on, in October, we were in another apartment, which was a bogus apartment.
A what?
A bogus apartment.
Bogus apartment?
Yeah, meaning
it was illegal, like they couldn't rent it to you?
Yes.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, the landlord, through text message, said they needed to vacate the premises by the end of October.
So you had to leave, so you rented his place?
Correct. I found his place, an ad on Craigslist. Okay. And everything fit so well at the time, I needed to get out, or else it was either that or being on the street.
Well, not necessarily. There are other alternatives, but okay.
Exactly. And which led us to Mr. Gambale's house. And basically...
Now, what was he renting out?
He was renting out a one-bedroom apartment downstairs in his basement, okay? He basically first told us that the tenant beforehand had damaged, there was an electrical box that was damaged, and he needed to be replaced. That's why there was no electricity in the apartment.
So how did you see the apartment?
Flashlights. Flashlights, there was
You picked out an apartment based on flashlights?
Unfortunately.
Okay. When did you expect that the electricity was going to be...
He said within a couple of days.
Right, and that didn't happen.
That did not happen.
So you're there, you move in when?
We moved in on November 1st. He said by that time, everything will be set in stone, they'll be good, and we're ready to
Alicia, let me ask you a question. Did you see the place with flashlights?
Yes.
All right, and then were you a witness to him saying that it would be resolved in a few days?
Yes.
All right, so did you guys move in, or how are you going to move in?
We just moved our stuff in.
Oh, you moved your stuff in, and where'd you go?
House hopping.
Oh, to the street. Right. To the street right there, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. All right, so then what happens? Because according to you, throughout the month of November, you're checking, and there's no electricity.
Correct. It went from one extreme to another. First, it was he was waiting for the town to come and do an inspection. Then it went from, oh, the town needs an underwritten inspection sent to Lightbud to be turned on.
So your stuff gets stolen.
Yes.
What is the day you realize, and how do you realize some of your stuff got stolen?
We would go back and forth to the apartment every other day to get close, so we can shower, whatever, at friend's house, family's house, whatever, you name it. We were there, I want to say, the 20th, okay?
Of November?
Of November,
And still no electricity?
Still not.
Okay.
Okay. I'm doing a backtrack. On the 17th, I had texted Michael Gambale. Still, there was nothing that was done to the apartment. I said, listen, you have a week to put the electric on. I've already paid you, all right? If it's not done, we're gonna just cut our losses. I want my money back, and we'll go our separate ways.
And what did he say?
He never responded,
okay?
Come the 20th, we go to the apartment, all my stuff is gone.
All of it or some of it?
My electronics, my TVs, cameras, video game systems, There were
Oh, for a guy who was about to live on the street, you got a lot of toys.
I work hard for my
Well,
my
if you
toys
work
for
hard,
them.
why would you end up on the street? So you can't have it both ways.
So, were these people stupid to rent a place with a flashlight?
I think so. I think they should have waited and saw the apartment in the light.
Absolutely. I mean, that's so logical. You're not with him, are you?
No.
You seemed, honestly, like
I've never
slightly
seen him before.
smarter. Going inside the courtroom.
So basically, and that's what happened. Called the police. Okay? There was no signs of forced entry. It was an inside job. There was only 2 people with keys, myself and Mr. Gambale. Now,
What about the last tenant? Did the last tenant have keys?
Last tenant would have had a key.
Why would you not change the lock?
Well, I actually told them to change the locks.
Did he tell you to change the lock? No. Why didn't you change the lock? When you come into a new place, wouldn't you want to make sure the lock had been changed and that the last people and all of their friends and girlfriends can't come in?
I would leave it to the landlord.
I always, because there's actually 2 doors. One door coming in, and then there's a door to the garage, and then stairs going downstairs to which would be their apartment. Obviously, I don't change the outside door, but the inside door, every tenant has
I don't know
always
why
gotten a new
it's
lock.
obvious. I would change all the locks, but in any
Well, there's a
event, go
lock. There's another lock to go into the garage, and then the lock to go to their apartment.
ahead. Do you know anything about this theft?
Actually, the back window was broken in the back of the house.
How was a window broken?
With that window was broken when we got there. He himself, on several occasions, said that he was going to fix the window.
Was the window broken and you didn't fix it?
Correct. I had just put in a piece of plexiglass.
What kind of landlord are you? Is this place even legal for you to rent?
Yes.
Show me. Prove it to me.
Oh, I don't have that.
Can I ask you a question? How do you figure that you can rent an apartment that has no electricity?
Well, actually, I had made the arrangements that when they first came to see me, the security and deposit, the security and the first month's rent was supposed to be paid. They were having trouble getting the money. They couldn't get me the money, so I figured it gives me a little time to get the electric turned on while they get their money together because they didn't have the money.
They had already paid you $2,400 on November 1st.
They had not, no.
How much had they paid you?
They'd given me $200 up front.
And then on November 1st, they put their stuff in and they'd only given you $200?
Correct.
And then when did they give you the rest of it?
Sporadically.
Did they, in fact, end up giving you $2,400?
It was actually $2,100.
Okay. And according to you guys, 24, prove to me it's 24.
A text message doesn't see how much.
When you come into court as a plaintiff, you have the burden of proof. You know what that means? That means that you guys have to prove the amount you're entitled to. You are lucky in that he says it judges $2,100. Mm-hmm. Why would you guys leave all these electronics in a place you can't live with which has a broken window, which you've acknowledged, and somebody could steal it?
I mean, if a person is in there, has their own dwellings, I mean, should they not have faith that nobody will enter it?
Well, unless the window in the back is broken, which you acknowledge the window in the back was broken. So that could be a method of entry. I have no idea. If the window's broken, can somebody reach their hand in, open it up, open the window, get in?
No, that
Yes. I have a picture.
I was like that.
Yeah, bring me the picture of the window.
And the panels,
Okay.
they slide right out.
Am I going to be able to tell based on looking at it how
Yeah,
big it
'cause
is? Is someone's hand there or anything, or a nail, or?
All
right.
He expanded it.
Look, it's 2 sliding glass windows.
Yeah, I know exactly.
So they
what
pop
this
right
is.
out.
Yeah. How were they broken?
The glass is missing.
Completely?
Yes.
Oh, please. All right. Why do you think that whether it's 24 or 21, you get to keep their money when you never even provided them with electricity at the end of the day?
Actually, 2 days after they actually took their stuff out, the power was on. I was living in the house.
And you didn't have power either?
No. So it wasn't like I was
What
trying
was the problem with the power?
They didn't pay the people before.
So the prior tenant hadn't paid, which means you're stuck with the bill?
Yes.
And how much was the payment?
It was like, it actually wasn't that. It was like $1,300.
And did you pay it?
Actually, I didn't have to. in the end.
Because?
Because the person who its name was in actually admitted that it was their responsibility. So
Yeah, but did they pay it?
I have no idea.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Now, you feel that he's stole your stuff? What is it you feel?
The only way into the apartment.
Show me the police report.
Okay.
Do you believe that... Where's the police report?
That's what I got from the 7th precinct.
This is nothing. This is not a police report. This is you asking for a police report. Where's the police report?
That's exactly everything that they told me to give to the court.
Well, that's useless to me. Do you know whether the police were called that day? Like
Yes, because my friend
know 'cause
actually
your
told
friend
them.
said.
Yes. And they had said that there was a PlayStation stolen.
And that's it?
That's all she said to
Where's
me.
your friend? Is your friend here?
No, she's in Florida.
Okay. And now all of a sudden it's a PlayStation, a TV
But
set.
apparently, when I had spoken to her, and she said the police came back a second time.
And they gave him a big list of other things?
Correct.
Right. Because somebody would notice a PlayStation but not the 60-inch TV? Okay. Let's go over what you're suing for. You are suing for rent and security back, and you want all of the things that you say were stolen now, which you say are a microphone, a laptop, a $400 camera, a bunch of games, your PlayStation, a 60-inch TV. All right, and your moving costs. Your moving costs are $180. Can I see proof of that?
Yes.
And just out of curiosity, where do you get all these figures? Do you have any proof of that?
I did basically go online and I looked up the models.
Let me see.
Well, I can.
Oh.
I can
Oh, you just
there.
trust you?
Yeah, we could do a web search.
We
and look it up
could, but we
So,
aren't, because you are supposed to do that. But, all right. What is this now?
That is the U-Haul receipt. When you go to check.
There we go. Okay, so the total of this though is $116.82. Why are you suing for $180?
Well, for help that helped move us. We had
Prove it.
That I can't.
Okay. I got it. All right, here's what I think. I think that you should get the following back. $2,100 because you can't rent a place that doesn't have electricity, even if you meant well and they knew it. Everybody, including you, thought it was going to be 2 or 3 days. I'm also going to order you to pay the moving costs that they can prove, which is $116.82, for a total of $2,216.82. Regarding all of the things that were stolen, that's kind of on you. You're supposed to have renter's insurance. If you don't, it's on you. Especially it's on you when there's nothing the landlord did wrong. You are completely asking me to speculate that he stole your stuff when you have a broken window in the back, which you have admitted is a broken window in the back that you knew about. You shouldn't have had a bunch of electronics there. So that's my verdict, $2,216.82. Verdict to the plaintiff, plus, of course, the court costs.
Thank you.
Well, the plaintiffs prevailed. They got half of what they were suing, $2,200 instead of $4,400. How about you? What do you think of this case?
I think it's fair. If they would have
You okay with that? You would have given it back to them?
I would have given it back to them. We wouldn't
Really?
have had to be here.
Interestingly. Anyway, I mean, you understand.
Oh,
Tough
absolutely.
situation, no electricity.
Yeah.
Why would somebody move in? Yeah.
Well, I didn't, honestly, I thought it was supposed to be just a couple of days.
All right.
So.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay. Now the plaintiffs are on their way out of the courtroom. You know, it's interesting. You were asking for big screen TVs and video games and everything else, but you had no proof to submit to the judge that you owned those or how much they cost.
I mean, how many people would be able to, at the same time give
Well, if you had
them?
receipts.
So, in fact, I feel justice. It's fair. However, I do feel that if I was able to get a little bit more word in edgewise,
Well,
show
look.
more proof, and
You're okay
able to
with it?
say,
All
I'm
right,
fine.
then, well, congratulations. Thank you very much. Okay. Sorry for what you went through. Harvey, how do you feel about this case? Interesting, huh?
Doug, there's something called a warranty of habitability, which basically means that a place has to be safe and it has to be suitable for occupancy. If it's not, even if it's not in the lease, you can sue under it.